What's up, everybody in YouTube land? My wife, my wife for Christmas got a 16 by 24 horse portrait. So what I'm doing here is making a frame for her. I picked up some El Cheapo dental molding and a piece of poplar. I don't have anything on hand to make one, so I figured I might as well just go get one and make her a picture frame. These are both 8 feet long. I cut them in half to 4 feet so they would run through my router table a little bit easier. On this first one, I've already cut a groove in there, like so. That's 7/8 inch wide to accept this dental molding right in the middle. I'm going to have this run down the middle, obviously, and then I forget the name of it. Once I use it, I'll tell you. I'm going to run a little decorative edge on both sides, and then on the inside edge I'm going to put a little bit of a rabbet to add 3/16 of an inch on either side of the picture for a reveal to hold the plexiglass and then the picture behind it and then some cardboard. But I've got the router table set up for this dado right here, and let me explain this contraption that I've got. This is an old dining table with a piece of laminate flooring as a insert plate, and a very small piece of pine for a featherboard, and then I just stuck a piece of wood on top of this to stop the piece from lifting up. This fence right here that I'm using is the same thickness as my wood that I'm running through, so if I just put something to level the top surfaces, that'll stop anything from wanting to lift up. Relatively safe. My fence is screwed down over here and then pivots this direction, clamped down, nothing fancy. This is just screwed down, nothing fancy, and running my wood through like so. Once I'm using a 3/4 inch bit here, turn it around, run it again. That's, a little bit too big from what I should be using. I should be using something like a 1/2 inch because I'm going for a 7/8 overall. But that's what was in there. I didn't feel like changing it, so that's what we're going to use. The detail on the outside is this bit right here. I'm sure you've probably used one before. And nothing fancy here. I just want to get my wife a frame and call it a day. So that's what we're doing. Like I said, I've already run one piece of the poplar. I'm going to run the second piece through, and then once I change out the bits, I'll show you what's going on. Before I switch to the edge detail bit, I've taken that same 3/4 inch bit and I've slid the fence in so that only 1/4 inch sticks out from the fence, and I've also elevated the height so it's 1/4 inch off of the insert surface. And what that's going to do is going to cut a rabbet on the inside of this frame. Remember, the dental detail is going inside this groove, and then this rabbet is going to be cut on the inside to receive first the plexiglass, second the print, and then third a thin strip of cardboard to tack it all in place. So I'm going to get this cut real quick on both pieces. With the router unplugged, you can lock the collet, remove the 3/4 inch straight bit, and insert the Ovolo, I think is what it's called. OVOLO. That's the bit I'm going to use for the edge detail. And then go ahead and line everything up to make my first cut. I don't know exactly how I'm wanting to, what dimensions I want to have on my cut. So I'm just going to start low and start close with the fence and edge my way in and up until I find something that I like. Alright, I'm at what I believe to be a good starting point. Not too high, not too close. Better to sneak up on something like this where you're unsure of. You can always take off more, but you can't put some back on there. So I'm going to sneak up on this one and see what I like. I think that is actually not too bad, not too little, not too much. And when you add this, I think you have a nice compounded effect of keep stepping up. So I think I'm going to leave it there actually. Not too bad on the first try. But anyway, I'm going to get this glued in. Let it sit and clamp a couple hours, and then we'll cut our miters on the table saw. So I've got these boards laying to where I can rotate them and sandwich them together. And all the clamps approximately where I'm going to clamp them. Now I'm just spreading a little bit of Type Bond 2 wood glue. I don't want to use a lot of glue here because I don't want any squeeze out. I'm obviously going to be staining these, so I don't want any glue on the surface. I don't know, I might paint them, I don't know. Obviously poplar is not a beautiful wood to look at, it's by no means ugly, but generally poplar is a painted wood, so I don't know, paint them, stain them, I'm not sure yet. I was originally planning on staining them, but my decisions change with the wind. Alright, that's roughly enough glue. And this dental molding just snugs in place, like so. This next piece, a piece of trash in there. This next piece goes in just the same. And then I will rotate them and sandwich them together with a couple clamps. Now obviously dental molding is high, low, high, low, high, low, the profile, so I'm just lining up two pieces, or lining them up to where the high sides are touching. And I'll put a clamp here, clamp here, clamp here. I don't know if all these clamps are really necessary. I'm not really tightening them down too much on them. I'm just trying to put an even pressure all the way across. So we're going to be using the miter sled on the table saw for it's improved accuracy over a traditional just chop saw, miter saw, whatever you want to call it. The sled works in a way that if you're off by, a half a degree on one side, the other side of that 90-degree corner is going to make up for it. It's going to be off that same amount, but in the opposite direction. So it's going to be a lot more accurate than the other saw, so that's why we're using it. If you haven't made one, I recommend making them because they make easy work for mitered corners. Alright, that's clamped up as good as it's going to get. Waiting game, just got to wait and see what happens.